Watching Prime News on HLN. You know, I don't get it here. When will teachers finally understand it's not okay to have sex with our students, our kids? Here's another example for you. 25-year-old Kristen Sullivan accused of having a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old boy, this at a Florida middle school. She's pleaded not guilty. Now, investigators say for almost a year, these two had sex at the school computer storage room, on top of her desk, in her apartment, outside of his house in a car. They say this woman even gave this kid gifts, money, clothes, jewelry, even changed one of his grades. That's how far we're going here. Sullivan has already fessed up to the affair, but denies having sex at the school. Oh, I guess there's our silver lining here. Brother, call us, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Back with us, Marc Harrold, former police officer. Also joining us, former prosecutor Robin Sachs. She's also author of the book Predators and Child Molesters. Robin, it sure seems like we have one here. Let me go through a couple of the details, how they met. Supposedly it's some kind of boxing event, and then you start seeing some of the manipulation. She transfers him into her class, pulls him out of other classes so he can, quote-unquote, assist her, changed his grade, a science grade, from a C to a B. I guess that's the way this goes, right? The manipulation, the cunning ways, right, Robin?
Oh, absolutely. This is the beginning of and the culmination of a grooming relationship, which began probably just like a normal teacher-student relationship, and began probably with being pulled in and out of classes, doing favors and breaking down those barriers to the point where they were then not only having sex, but having sex everywhere outside of the school, in the school. That takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to break those walls down.
Yeah, you know, but she's not admitting to sex in the school. Marc Harrold, why is that a big point of contention here?
I'm not exactly sure, unless there's an extra law there that says that it makes it, you know, it's an aggravating factor of some kind. My guess is she thinks if it didn't happen at the school, it somehow shows that she didn't use her official position as egregiously. But she's a rapist. You know, we always look, sometimes we look at these different prism when it's a female teacher and a male student, but she's a rapist. If she did it at the school, maybe it's a little bit worse because of whatever she was neglecting to do. But the bottom line is she's admitted to the affair, if that's what you want to call it, but she's a rapist, and she should be treated like any other rapist.
Yep, facing 2 counts of sexual battery while being in a position of authority. Robin, to Mark's point, is that what we're talking about here, whether or not she admits something happened at school?
Well, again, it could be some sort of aggravating factor, but still, she's abusing her authority no matter what, whether it's in the school grounds or not in the school grounds. So to me, it doesn't matter in that way. And to speak to Mark's point, he brings up an excellent point. Even just by calling it an affair, this is not an affair.
No, it's not.
Affair is something between consenting relationship. This is a sexual assault, and I think that's what it needs to be called, and that's what it is.
This is a predator preying on kids. This kid was 14 years old. Let's get a call in. Melinda's with us, California. Hey, Melinda, your thoughts here?
I agree that it's a sexual assault and the woman is a rapist. It seems like our high schools are becoming meat markets for preying teachers who want to take advantage of the youth. And
it's frightening. It's frightening. Melinda, thanks for the call. I mean, we talked about Stephanie Ragusa, who admitted to having sex with a 14 and 16-year-old. She got 10 years. We talked about that story a couple of days ago. Coming up next on this program, we have a teacher in Michigan. Robin, I mean, what is going on here? I mean, you have delved into the criminal mind concerning predators, molesters, going after our kids. What is going on here?
Well, I think to the school's credit and to your credit, Mike, actually, by putting this on the air, is that we're finally realizing not only that sexual assault exists and how prevalent it is, but that there is such thing as a female perpetrator. So many times, I mean, even if I write about this on my Facebook, I can't tell you how many people on my Facebook account say, I wish I had a teacher like that. Where are those teachers? I mean, we have such a double standard that until we start profiling all of these cases, as you're doing such a great job at, people don't recognize that it is really the crime that it is.
No, I mean, we want our kids safe, and people like you're talking about, Mark, people try to minimize it. You know, guys will even call this program and say, oh, I wish I had a teacher like that. No, there are devastating consequences. You talk about trust issues, relationship issues for a young boy like that down the road. There are devastating consequences. Here's one other thing, Mark, I want to get your take on this. She gave the kid gifts. I mean, shoes, gold chain, cell phone, a Wii console, PlayStation games. That's got to be a red flag. If the parents out there watching this, those are the kind of things you got to look at and question your kids, right?
Yeah, you know, a 14-year-old usually has limited means, so if they start showing up with things that they clearly couldn't afford, you know, that's an alarm that goes off or a flag for the parents. But this, as far as I can tell, is just typical grooming behavior. She breaks down any resistances that he has. She shows special attention to him from the other students, gets him in her class, allows her to assist him, which is just to buy time with her. And then the gifts are just one more part of the grooming process, either to make him feel special or to make him so he's her favorite or whatever it was. But this is about control, like most sexual assaults. It's about control, and she exercised control from her position and from giving gifts and doing other things that adults do that kids can't.
Yep, and those are the words we're using here: sexual assault, grooming, predatory behavior, not an affair, as she likes to call it. All right, Mark, thank you. Robin, I know you're sticking around for this next one. As we mentioned, another teacher, this one in Michigan, stood in court with her poor husband as she was accused of having sex with a teenage student, son of a cop. And there could be more victims.